It's the NFL on EA Sports, where London will play host to a different kind of football. It's the New York Giants and the Green Bay Packers, and it's coming right up on Madden NFL 23.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New York Giants and the Green Bay Packers. Welcome in, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, so much gets made about offensive comparisons. Here's a matchup where the defenses may just take center stage.
Yeah, we're usually talking about guys scoring touchdowns. How about the guys who prevent them and change the momentum of the game when they take the ball away? I love those ball hawks in the secondary. People after my own heart.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. Here come the Giants, led out by their former 6th overall pick out of Duke back in 2019. Daniel Jones under center.
New York State committed to Daniel Jones for a 4th season, but also made this a decisive year by declining his 5th-year option. 2022 looks like Jones' final chance to prove he can be the franchise face for the Giants, and he does have a cadre of weapons that he'll need to top his career highs of 3,000 yards and 24 touchdowns that he set as a rookie.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 on 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
From the 36, Jones. And his pass incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Throwing Jones. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a 1st down. Roughing, it is a 1st.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. Now Jones. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd down, Jones. Bellinger hauls it in out left side. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt.
Partner doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying, if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? A long one, and he can't connect. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. This offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50. 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. The throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 2nd and 2. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. 4 yards to pick up, 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And he's got his man. Touchdown, Green Bay. It's Allen Lazard. From 19 yards away. And the Packers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. It's Mason Crosby for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. Touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. And they were in field goal range last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll go to Barkley again. And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing deep for Galladay. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with the referee. A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Jones with a handoff to Barkley, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
You don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? It's a takedown on 1st down. Quarterback's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Up the middle with Barkley. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 1st down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
Well, with Saquon Barkley, you often think of the elusiveness, the quickness, but he can definitely run with purpose as well, and he's able to shed a tackler there and continue on.
Yeah, this could be a sign of what this defense is in for, because all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense, you've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him, or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Operating from the gun, Jones. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Now Jones from the gun on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Some mistakes already in the first quarter. If he holds on to that one, first down.
Yeah, I guarantee you that at least one defensive back out there has reminded him of that fact, trying to get into his head and hoping that'll affect him the rest of the game.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner.
Wow, I mean, it's so rare to even see one attempted from that distance, CD, let alone converted, but he came through with confidence and matches what was Tom Dempsey's 43-year NFL record at one point of 63 yards.
Yeah, I can still see that highlight of Dempsey making that kick, and nowadays we see it a little bit differently because, remember, Dempsey was a straight-on kicker. But these guys nowadays, the range keeps increasing, and they keep putting it through the posts.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it.
The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive.
The offense coming back out here, plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Rodgers now on first down.
Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
That's a nice throw there, and he's obviously feeling pretty good because, remember, he had a touchdown pass on the last drive, and here he comes out throwing again, and they wind up getting good yardage and a first down right out of the gate.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Shotgun now for Rodgers. This is caught with a catch right side. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a second and long. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. On second down, it's Jones. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now Rodgers.
And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just one first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
So on fourth down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Waiting on it will be Richie James. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here.
Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kid that can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it. and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
Call that a very strong gain of 24.
It was a bit of an adjustment for Kenny Galladay in 2021, his first year in New York, and with new quarterback Daniel Jones. His mission, get back to his Pro Bowl form here in 2022 and avoid similar struggles. That catch right there, a nice way to get going.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jones. This is caught by Robinson. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
Gillen to punt this one away. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad.
The Packers ready to take over offensively. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack out 1st and 10 at their own 15. And they'll start out here with a jet sweep.
And a tackle there by Micah McFadden.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
So from the 17, here's 2nd and 7.
Throwing now is Rodgers.
Finds his receiver, Watson.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy set the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them. They're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Up the middle, Jones. And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And that would be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special because coverage was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense. And they were there to help force the incompletion.
Here's Pat O'Donnell on now to punt it away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field.
The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam. Especially
against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 17 yards and a Giant 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Back to throw. Jones. And that'll be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again, Jones. They'll set up the screen to Barkley.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Looking to throw. Jones.
He'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney.
And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 31-yard line. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
That's a play that'll likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Barkley, inside handoff. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run it again with Barkley. Shifts by him. 51 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
This has been a good drive so far. It's been a running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Here's a give to Barkley. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. A minimal gain as we tip down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. When we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
A handoff to Barkley. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Jones to throw on 3rd down. Flush to his right. And he'll just get rid of it. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. Gano's kick is good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On 1st down, Rodgers. He'll find Lazard here over the middle. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, a one-point game, 7-6. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. On the out route, Dobbs brings it in.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness is a premium for all of that now.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. On play action, it's Rodgers. Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. An inside give to Jones. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points on? Big Kenny Clark that time pushing upfield to make the tackle for loss.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Again, it's Barkley. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. On to punt, Jamie Gillen. Now a fair catch is called for and taken a few yards across midfield. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Although a jet sweep to start the drive. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
The tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be second down.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
And they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
I would think as a play call, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. The 40. The 20. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery on Giants touchdown. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that in a great play for that defensive unit. And he puts this one through as the lead moves to 13-7. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. Here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line, he provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Working from the gun, Rodgers. That's complete to Cobb. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. Now a draw play. This is Jones. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. If you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away.
James now to return it.
It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out come the Giants.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Hudson. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches as we just saw him do there because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred the defense.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half. Unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Throwing deep for Galladay. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete. But the contact is going to move the ball well downfield.
Well, obviously, they never want to see penalties on that defense, but this one a little bit more significant there on the downfield pass play.
And coaches preach it all the time. You can't put yourself in that kind of position if you're the defender. You got to stay in a spot far downfield where you can play the ball without creating extra contact.
That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Throwing, Jones.
Another pass complete to Bellinger. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down.
And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the under 3 here on 3rd down? Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the first down yardage there. 73 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Oh, he's got the full package. He can spin, he can juke, he can make you miss, he can drop a shoulder on you. Some of that elusiveness we saw at Penn State has definitely translated to the NFL game. Saquon Barkley hit the proper buttons and turn him loose.
Now Jones. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. It'll go as a loss of 8 and a tough result there on 1st and goal.
Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? On the run, it's Barkley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Now that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed. Because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
The offense on 3rd down, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Calling a loss of 8 there, and it's going to lead to a 4th down, 4th and goal.
So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal.
Right hash, 37-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good, and now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
Caught by Cobb. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Rodgers to Cobb, good for a Green Bay first.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. That's complete, and once again, it's Cobb. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. 48 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And Jones has it over the middle. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. From the 35 on 2nd down, Rodgers. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
So now on 4th down, Rodgers will give way to Mason Crosby for the field goal try. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And the deficit trimmed to 6 now at 16-10.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that. But let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. Taking it about the 1. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Possession switching back to the New York Giants. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones, he finds him again. Saquon Barkley shows off the quick feet as he takes this one up to the 20. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jones gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They'll look to throw again. The throw for Tony is intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to take over at their own 41. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
The Packers with the football here late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Slant route, he's got Dobbs. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Throwing is Rodgers. And that's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Throwing now is Rodgers. He finds his man, complete. That's Cobb. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On the delay, Jones. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. On the return, it's James. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much. And welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, time for a check of the next-gen stats from that first half for the Giants. And they've had some success on the ground. And with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Packers, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. The Packers ready to go to start quarter number 3. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went into half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
Meanwhile, Rodgers finds his man, Dobbs. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Rodgers. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like a Packer. Yeah, a Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. To throw is Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today.
Here's James returning. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Meanwhile, Jones' throw here pulled in by Galladay. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Jones now on 1st down.
He's got Bellinger. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones.
Over the middle, he completes it to Robinson. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw again. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
This is Barkley. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
Holding, offense.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Off play action. Jones. Leaping, and he makes the grab. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one goes for 30 yards.
They came out with an aggressive mindset to start the 3rd quarter, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them take more of these type of deep shots as this game moves along. They connected there. They expect to connect on more before this one's over.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Back to throw. Jones.
Going right back to Galladay.
Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he will take it all in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, a 6-yard touchdown run. And they are able to add on to their advantage. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is lets you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you've taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
And he's got it here for the 2 points, but there is a marker down, so we'll have to see what that's about.
So they'll, of course, decline the pass interference there and wisely take the yardage.
And I think defensively he's saying, I was getting away with that in the first half. Why are you making that call now? But to me, that one was pretty easy to see. I don't understand what he's upset about. I think it was the correct call.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
A throw complete to the tight end, Tottenham.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now it's Rodgers.
He'll go right back to Tottenham. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now Rodgers.
Open man left side. It's the tight end, Tottenham.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 24-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Rodgers now on first down.
That's complete to Dobbs. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
On second down, it's Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
You don't see that a ton, do you? The cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. Able to find Lazard. And the Packers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Jones. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
And not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
From the 3 now. Here they come on 3rd and goal. Rodgers going to throw. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Romeo Doubs from 3 yards out. And the Packers have got it back to within a score. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point try now for Crosby. He's got it, and it's 24-17. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And that drive all capped off with a Romeo Doubs touchdown. Touchdown. Here's Crosby to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. If they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Throwing, Jones. This pass into the hands of Bellinger. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. A first down carry for Barkley. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there. Not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. It's Barkley on the counter, and they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now Jones. He finds his man. It's Robinson. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 39. Really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Looking to throw. Jones. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. Here's Jones. Throwing on first down. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
think. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Touchdown, Giants! Kadarius Toney, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Giants will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Gano for the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays.
And it's Kadarius Toney who caps things with a touchdown reception.
Touchdown here to kick it away.
Aaron Rodgers to return it from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. Last series, the ball never hit the ground. 6 of 6, touchdown pass, so whatever he did then, do it again, right?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of when I watch the best quarterbacks throw 7-on-7 or even routes versus air. They're accurate. The receivers catch it. The ball never touches the ground. Or if you want to take it to basketball, a well-executed fast break, right? Pass, 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 finish at the rim, basket. Yeah, ball never hits the ground there either.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Again, it's Jones, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Rodgers. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cobb. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. From the 39, Rodgers. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
Azeez Ojulari
able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Remember, throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. This offense on 3rd down today, they've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. Punt, just 2 yards there on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And the Giants ready to come out now.
Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Out of the gun now on third down. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big 30-yard play on third.
No let-up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold-up four fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held him to no gain.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Again, it's Barkley.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 92 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Up the middle with Barkley. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. It was Jared Reed who got him down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Flush, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Rashawn Gary, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6.
A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Middle of the field, it's Robinson.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. The passing game continues to be their friend, even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles. They're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
Now Jones on 1st and 10. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
That was a difficult catch, and I admire the fact that he actually caught the football, worked so hard to get his feet down in bounds, tried to do the toe tap, My dad's an accomplished tap dancer. I'm not sure he would have gotten his feet in on that one.
Is he really?
Yeah, that he is.
How about that? What about Young Davis?
No, it did not. It did not cross.
It didn't carry over.
No, it stopped right there.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
How about the timing on that one? Well, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on third down conversions. They need a yard here. They'll look to throw again. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And the Packers are right back in this football game. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. He's got it up to the 15, showing off some fancy footwork there on the play. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Rodgers.
This one swung out here to Jones.
Just a gain of a couple there. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3. You got the big lead defensively. Really be giving that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackle. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson. Oh, he still brings it in off the tip here on the deep shot. Touchdown, Packers. Christian Watson, 83 yards. And the Packers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this. I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Now Crosby for the point after. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. The drive there only spanning 3 plays.
And it was all capped off by a touchdown catch from Christian Watson.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Kenny Golladay making his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. And he is just 1 reception away from 10 in this game. I don't know what they need to do defensively, but something has to be altered, does it not?
I know that whenever we tried to cover a person who's having a game like this, you're trying to vary what you're doing, trying to change things up, hoping to fool him occasionally. If not fool him, fool the quarterback so that maybe he doesn't read the coverage correctly. Right now, though, they're in pretty good sync.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Rashawn Gary picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Back to throw. Jones gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Let's rock and roll, baby. It's one play at a time, baby. Let's go, baby. Every day. Let's go, baby.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. Jones.
And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
To throw again on 2nd down. Jones to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
James has got it. Complete.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Personal foul. Safety. Defense.
So it was already a gain on the completion, but tack on some more with that penalty.
Absolutely. No matter what angle you're making the tackle from, you can't grab the face mask, and that's just putting your defense on its heels just a little bit more.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Off the play fake. Jones. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Rashawn Gary getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
To try again after the sack. Jones. And that's incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Back to throw. Jones. He finds his man, complete. It's James. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, second and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. Another try for Barkley. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. Forced out to his left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
So out on the field now, Graham Gano in a big spot. This to make it a 2-score game. Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
Through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. Fielded just outside the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up first and 10 at their own 22. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
From the 27, Rodgers. Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case. Down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
On first and 10, here's Rodgers. A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's second down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Here's second and 5 now from the 37. Here's Rodgers to throw. Slant route, he's got Dobbs. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 38. Rodgers now to throw. Finds Lazard quickly on the slant. And he's got a first down as he's going to be taken down. But a very nice pickup there just in front of the 2-minute warning. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Rodgers throw into the hands of Cobb. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. To throw is Rodgers. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Rodgers to throw. And he'll just get rid of it.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Now Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Back to throw, Rodgers. And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting here in the final minute.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Extra point try now for Crosby. And the lead is down to a field goal now. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. So there is still time, a little over 50 seconds to go, but this becomes a critical onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Barkley, inside handoff. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, Barkley. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to swell the lead to 6. Gano's kick is good, and that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So it's another field goal here. He may need to ice his leg after this one. That's now 5 field goals converted in this game alone.
Yeah, get the trainer. They're going to need this guy. And they've needed every single one of the field goals he's made, too. If they're going to get out of here with a win, I say he gets a game ball.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. So Aaron Rodgers in his offense. Down by 6, 30 seconds to go. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Open man, here's Kyle. And he's brought down. They took a big shot there. It pays off. A solid gain downfield. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw complete here on target to Tottenham. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffer the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.